Hello, Ben.
You did it a bit too early.
Sorry.
You spoke too early. John, this is a serious situation. And
I'm sorry.
And you're already screwing up.
Right. Hello, Ben.
Hello, John. Good afternoon. How are you?
Well, I am fine. But I don't think the Queen is.
No. So we've been seeing an announcement. In fact, I called it just before the initial announcement, didn't I?
Yeah.
I saw that there was something going on in the Commons. Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner, as well as our Prime Minister Liz Truss, were ushered from the Commons and delivered a briefing in private. And then a few minutes later, the announcement was made that the Queen is allegedly under medical supervision and on essential bed rest at Balmoral Castle. I mean, we simply
But more to the point, the entire royal family have been called to Balmoral.
They have been summoned, and I think they were summoned much earlier than we were told, because Charles and Camilla, I believe, have already arrived at Balmoral Castle.
Well, we're hearing that
William's there too.
All our children are there, apart from, well, yeah, all our children are there, which would be Andrew and Charles.
Yeah, so Andrew's definitely been summoned. I know that. Anne's been summoned. She's there. William's there. From what we understand, Harry, or Henry, as his real name is, and Meghan are on their way there. So there's a couple of options that we have here, isn't there, John?
Oh, there's two options, and it's quite obvious. She's either already dead, in which case we express our condolences, or she is about to die, in which case we express our condolences.
I personally
because after all, regardless of whether you're a monarchist or not, this is a human being that is in the process of passing on.
Yeah, or has already passed on.
Has already. Yeah.
See, I personally think she probably is already gone. I think she went in her sleep last night, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's happened. Because I wanna, whilst you make your predictions, well, I will say this. They're not going to instantly come out and say it, are they? You're going to want to soften the country for this blow. Yeah,
well, I think the problem in this day and age is that communication's too fast for them now. So it's too fast to hang on to traditions because, as you said, normally they would wait 24 to 48 hours to announce this. But it's across social media already. You know, people know. Sky News knows, because they're live streaming and they've done nothing for the last 45 minutes to an hour except run continual shots of the Queen and Prince Charles and things like that, the royal family. So they know that she is dead and they're just waiting for the announcement, I think.
I think you're absolutely correct. I also, from what I hear, and I haven't heard this myself, perhaps maybe you could get a stream up in a minute, John, but I understand that BBC are actually talking about her in the past tense.
Oh, so the BBC got a live stream because I couldn't find anything.
I don't. Maybe go to the BBC News website and see if you can find it there.
I don't like
So
speaking
let's
to
have a look at
BBC.
plans for what they call Operation London Bridge, shall we, John? London Bridge is the operation that they use for the monarch passing away. So preparations for Queen Elizabeth II's death and funeral were made as early as the 1950s, with the plan having undergone multiple changes in the decades since. The plan is updated 3 times a year for a meeting involving government department officials, the police, and broadcasters. So broadcasters are in on whatever is or is not going to be said, right?
Yep.
So the BBC are talking about her in a past tense. If that is true, then perhaps they already know more. When Elizabeth, so I'll give you some more. When Elizabeth dies, her private secretary will be the first official, i.e., not one of the. Please don't share your sound with us at the minute.
I haven't. It's ready to go, but it isn't shared.
Okay, cool. I'm just trying to move us in frame now. 1 second. We're kind of in frame. That'll work for the minute. But when Elizabeth dies, her private secretary will be the first official, i.e., not one of the relatives or part of the medical team, to convey the news. The first act will be to contact the Prime Minister, where civil servants will convey the code phrase "London Bridge is down" to the Prime Minister using secure telephone lines. The Cabinet Secretary in the Privy Council office will also be informed by the Private Secretary. Well, Jacob Rees-Mogg is part of the Privy Council, and he was briefed earlier on. I will say that. The Cabinet Secretary will then convey the news to ministers and senior civil servants. The Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office's Global Response Centre, based at a secret location in London, will communicate the news to governments of the 14 other countries of which Elizabeth is Queen, and to the governments of the other countries of the Commonwealth nations.
Why did they cut the feed there? They cut the feed there. It looked like the guy had come to fix the cable TV or something. A white van pulled up at the gates of Balmoral, and they just cut the feed.
This is the BBC, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Where was I? Government websites and social media accounts, as well as the royal family's website, will turn black, and the publication of non-urgent content must be avoided. So,
really, government websites will turn black.
Yeah, and the publication of non-urgent content must be avoided. I assume by the media. You know, the media that's fair and free. But yeah, the media will
It's all about dystopian. Can I use that word?
You can. So the media would be informed by announcement to PA Media and the BBC through the radio alert transmission system, which is called RATS.
Bloody hell.
And to commercial radio on the independent radio news through a network of blue obit lights, which will alert presenters to play inoffensive music and prepare for a news flash. While BBC Two would suspend scheduled programming and switch to BBC One's broadcast for the announcement. BBC News will air a pre-recorded sequence of portraits, during which the presenters on duty at the time will prepare for the formal announcement by putting on dark clothing prepared for this purpose. The Guardian has reported that the Times has 11 days of prepared coverage ready, and that ITN and Sky News have long rehearsed her death, but substituting the name Mrs. Robinson. Okay. A footman would pin a dark-edged notice to the gates of Buckingham Palace at the same time. The Palace website would display the same notice. The Parliament of the United Kingdom and the Scottish, Welsh and Northern Irish Parliament would meet as soon as is practical or be recalled if they are not sitting. The Prime Minister would address the House of Commons. The new monarch would not host a meeting with the Prime Minister and then would host a Prime Minister with the meeting and then deliver a speech to the nation. 6 p.m. the evening following the Queen's death, Whitehall and local government buildings will fly flags at half-mast and books of condolences may be opened. Ceremonial ornaments such as ceremonial maces or council chains are to be put in black purses. Gun salutes will take place at saluting stations, and a service of remembrance to be attended by the Prime Minister and senior ministers will be held at St. Paul's Cathedral. This all sounds rather complicated, but
it does, and it's quite interesting if you follow the monarchy and the trappings of royalty. It's it sounds a bit outdated in this day and age, but having said that, if we think back over the Queen's reign, there's people that have lived and died within her reign that have never known the change of a monarch.
That is absolutely true. I mean, I've never known a change of a monarch, and I've
No,
not died, but
neither have I, obviously.
Yeah, will she be taken off the money, John?
Probably not immediately, but yes, I would imagine so.
Because the minting process is not a speedy process, is it?
No, and getting money that's already in circulation out of circulation takes time as well.
And how I personally think they've probably got plenty to go into circulation pre-made. That's just me. Anyway, should we carry on? Different arrangements for moving Elizabeth's coffin are planned depending on where she dies, including plans for Windsor Castle and Scotland, which is obviously where she is.
Well, she loved Scotland, so I think it's quite appropriate that she came here to die because, to be fair, the rest of the country's not far behind her.
No.
And I'm not being funny.
No. I've completely lost my place here.
Sorry.
In the event she dies at Windsor Castle or Sandringham House, the coffin would be taken by royal train to St Pancras railway station in London, where the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers will be waiting. If she dies overseas, the coffin will be brought by number 32
okay.
Royal Naval Squadron.
Skip to Scotland.
Well, there's nothing about Scotland.
Well, it said there'd be different arrangements if she died in...
I'm assuming it's just putting her on a train. I'm assuming...
Okay. Well, where's she going on the train? Because if she dies at Westminster... if she dies in Buckingham Palace or Windsor, she gets put on a train. At St Pancras. But I thought she'd be...
if she dies at Windsor Castle or Sandringham House, the coffin would be taken by royal train to St Pancras railway station in London. Because obviously... I don't know why...
So I can
Windsor
only imagine the same thing
House
will happen. The same thing's got to happen for Balmoral, right? Because she's going to lie in state, surely, in Westminster Abbey.
Well, 10 days after her death, the state funeral led by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Okay, so in all cases, the coffin will be taken to the throne room at Buckingham Palace. 5 days after the Queen's death, it will be moved to Westminster Hall, and after a service, lie in state for 3 days.
Right, okay. So she has gone to the Abbey at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes to Buck House, and then...
10 days after the Queen's death, a state funeral led by the Archbishop of Canterbury would be held at Westminster Abbey. Her body would then be buried in a prepared tomb at King George VI Memorial Chapel in St George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, alongside Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, whose coffin will be moved from Royal Vault. A committal service would be held at St George's Chapel before the burial, as agreed by the Queen and the Prime Minister. The day of the funeral would be declared a national day of mourning, although a bank holiday will not be granted. A 2-minute silence will take place across the United Kingdom at midday, and processions would gather in London and Windsor. And if this all does come to pass in the next few days, John, are we going to go and cover some of this?
I can't.
Am I going to go and cover some of this?
I don't know. It's up to you, mate.
I'll see if it's financially viable, and if it is, I will go and cover some of this. Concurrent operations. The plan for the Queen's death and funeral will occur concurrently with plans for the Prince of Wales' accession to the throne. Additionally, an ancillary plan has been created if the Queen dies in Scotland. She has died in Scotland.
She has.
Okay, so this is. Do you want to hear the plan for if she dies in Scotland? It's called.
Oh right, okay. So we have got a plan for if she dies in Scotland.
It's just
right,
it's just further down. It's called Operation Unicorn. Operation Unicorn is a plan that outlines what would happen if the Queen dies in Scotland. Details about Operation Unicorn were first reported to the public in 2019, although mention of the code name was first made in the Scottish Parliament's online papers in 2017. Once the death has been made public, Holyrood Palace, St Giles Cathedral, and Scottish Parliament.
Holyrood.
Right. Will serve as a focal point of gatherings, with a condolence book open to the public set up at the latter location. Parliamentary business will be suspended immediately for at least 6 parliamentary days, which means Scotland will get 6 days of peace, in order to allow authorities to prepare for the funeral. The Parliament will then prepare a motion of condolence within 72 hours of reconvening. The Queen's coffin will first lie in repose in Holyrood Place, followed by a service of reception at St Giles Cathedral, Edinburgh. Following this, the coffin would then be transported to Waverley Station and taken by the royal train to London if possible. Otherwise, if the coffin would not be taken, the coffin would be taken by plane to London and welcomed by the Prime Minister and cabinet ministers. So,
So she's staying in Scotland for a while then?
yeah, she's staying with you. So you could go and see her, John.
Yeah.
Well, if you're able to do that, if you're able to cover that. Soram says, question is, with the energy prices, will she be cremated? Have you seen the announcements made on the energy prices? They've set a cap at £2,500 per household for the next 2 years.
What is that? That's no use.
It's less than was gonna be.
Yeah, but it's still no use.
It's still no use.
It's still going to put millions into fuel poverty. This is ridiculous. And I'm actually halfway through preparing a video that explains exactly how you could fix this in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
2
absolutely.
bloody minutes.
Soram says, I think a lot of people Queenie represents a link with totally lost age, a time and place of a country that is in no way recognisable now. For many people, that break with the past is quite upsetting. I can understand that. My grandmother's one of them, right? So I love my grandmother dearly. I do. She's my favourite human. She's my favourite human being outside of my direct household, right?
Yes.
She makes some idiotic decisions, but we all? They can be forgiven. She, she's an absolute royalist. She loves the Queen. She loves the royal family. She loves the pomp and ceremony. She loves the tradition. I always call her silly for it, right?
Yeah.
But she loves it. She's a 77-year-old woman. Let her have what she loves. At the end of the day, this is going to really upset her. But she said something to me just this past Sunday. She said something to me that struck home. She said, I don't recognise this world. I don't belong in it.
Well, I think, and to be fair, the Queen doesn't belong in it either, and I think she's recognised that and moved on.
Well, perhaps, and I think people of that age and people who do remember a different Britain, a different England, even one that this is just not it anymore. And I mean, even me being born in the late 80s, I don't recognise the place in which I live now. I don't.
No, I know.
There is so much going on here as we look at BBC News. There is so much coverage of this woman, and it seems to be nothing but wall to wall. And what colour is the BBC News website there, John?
Well, the background is black.
It's black, isn't it?
Yeah.
So should I start having a look at other...
I had a look at Gov, and they're still up.
Right.
So they're still up and normal. Because they have a black top on them anyway, but the Gov websites are still normal. I've just refreshed it.
The royal family website is indeed still not black, so I'm having a look on their official website now. I do think, personally speaking, she has probably passed on, and I don't say that to sound conspiratorial. I just think if she hasn't passed on at this point, she's about to. We're within a stone's throw.
Well, what do you want to do? Because obviously, I think my prediction initially was they would announce this at 3 o'clock for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't think they will.
Do you want to hang on till 3 o'clock?
Oh, we can hang on and chat about. I've got, we're here, we're live. We've got a few people watching over on the couple of platforms.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can hang on for a little bit. That's absolutely no problem at all. I'm not sure, personally speaking. Should we kill that feed until something happens so that we're back on the screen?
Yeah, okay.
So there we go. Now we look good for everybody. Just sort yourself out. But,
yep. Go on.
Honestly speaking, you're right. You're absolutely right. Information moves so fast at this point that holding off and waiting for announcement, and I'm seeing people thinking they're going to announce at 6 a.m. tomorrow like they did with Diana. I think we're in an information age where it's just not viable to do so. I mean, you are looking through Twitter right now, aren't you? And you said that it's essentially trending that the Queen has already passed on. So, yeah, people are already fully expecting it or else already know. And I would say also that people have become desensitized to information like that purely because of the information overload we get through social media. So where once this would have been a massive shock and tragedy for the country, I don't think it will be anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the first thing Soram said when he came into the chat. He's like, I hope I get a decent holiday out of this. That's where we are. That's where we are as a society. That's where we are as a people, purely because we are so desensitized to anything and everything that
Yeah, and sometimes I think we lose sight of our humanity at times because of that.
I absolutely agree.
Because of the speed of everything these days, we forget that it's real people that's involved, and regardless of how they have behaved in the past or whatever, they are still humans, you know, and you have to give them that.
Well, regardless, like you say, regardless of what they may have or have not done in the past, at the end of the day, it's not just a human being that's either in the midst of or has currently passed away, but it is a grieving family, right? It is a family who is losing a loved one. Jimmy Five Jab says she's been dead for months. They've been using doubles, and you know what? People do say this, and we've kind of riffed on it, haven't we?
We have riffed on it.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, we've used it as a kind of a gaff thing, but to be fair, there is no reason for them not to have announced her death at any point when she died, because it would have, as you said, I think, bring the country together, and if the country needs anything, it needs brought together.
I did say this a few weeks ago, didn't I?
Yeah,
I did say this because the country, going back to what I said just a few minutes ago, I don't recognise this country. I don't see solidarity. I don't see homogeny. I mean, even back in the early 90s, you could ask your neighbour for a cup of sugar. Now you're wondering if your neighbour's going to stab you. And we've all we've drifted apart, but we are more connected than ever. It's such a strange situation to be in, because we will sit there all day, and we are guilty of this too. We are all guilty of this. We will sit there all day conversing with people over the internet, conversing with people through our phones, and being more connected than ever. We're doing it right now, John. Me and you are talking, and we're talking out to the world.
Yeah.
But we are so far apart. We are so far apart as people. I don't know my neighbours. I just know that my neighbours got their car firebombed and got the woman that lived here's before's car firebombed, and that means I should probably not have much to do with my neighbours. They seem like nice enough people, but I don't.
Oh, and
really know them.
they got their door rearranged by the police.
Yes, that door has been being replaced all day today.
Oh, right.
Coincidentally, okay. That door has been being replaced all day today. I'm just keeping an eye on my phone because at any point Volkswagen could call, though I doubt they will. There's so much that we are missing out on as society, because this idea of information sharing is it's made us strangers to one another. I mean, I know we're going a bit off tangent, but we're kind of looking to fill time, I guess. But when you go and look at somebody's so-called life on Instagram, and they go and put out all these pictures, they're not real. The life's not real. You don't know the person. Same with a TikTok star. We're kind of TikTok stars, John. We got a fair few thousand followers over there. But at least we try if we are going to give something.
Right, here's a statement from Liz. My thoughts and the thoughts of people across the United Kingdom are with Her Majesty the Queen and her family at this time. From Liz Truss.
So that was about
Twitter.
An hour ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was on Twitter.
Yeah, that was about an hour ago. Her saying that her thoughts are with Her Majesty the Queen suggests that at least Liz is conveying that she may still be alive.
Well, maybe she's been told to say that, though.
I think at this time, like I said, because despite...
See, I don't think anyone is going to usurp the official process of telling people that the Queen has passed.
No, and are you keeping an eye over there on BBC News?
I have multiple windows open.
That's what I like to hear. Multiple. I've got another whole screen and another whole screen down there that I could be putting things on. But I've got BBC News and Sky News running at the same time, but I think BBC will be first. You know what? I think BBC will be notified first.
Yeah, definitely.
As the national broadcaster, they will be notified first. When you see the portraits start to appear, you know that presenter's changing clothes.
Yes. Well, yeah. Oh, the gates are open.
Oh, the gates where?
Oh, and a barrier has been brought out of Balmoral. Should we go to the scene?
Yes, but rather than do it like you did, share your screen like you normally would.
I can't share my. I can't share my whole screen.
Okay, well, okay. That's
I can
better.
give you that.
That's better.
That's what I gave you the last time.
So this is live at Balmoral and live at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. So there was a barrel. There was a barrier being brought out of Balmoral. So obviously they're expecting people to be gathering. I would imagine the press.
Yes.
And they've obviously put that across away from the gates.
Yeah.
But the gates are definitely open now. We see armed police obviously standing there at the entrance.
A preparation is being made for an announcement.
Yeah. Yep. And it's coming up to what, 2:25.
I will say
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
The world's media are converging on both Buckingham Palace and Balmoral. The gates
are shutting. Gates are closing.
Belladonna Hall crew
it's
says
astonishing commentary we give, isn't it, people? It's astonishing commentary.
Yeah, but the difference between us and, let's say, the BBC News that we are watching is we will actually give some relevant commentary about other things whilst we're trying to fill this time.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but obviously when I saw that, I was thinking, they're making preparations. It's a bit like the podium coming out on Downing Street.
Let me just adjust the screen for everybody so they.
Shall I? I was going to stop the share now. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I've just adjusted the screen so that we're nicely in frame right now.
Okay, I'll just leave it running.
And I hope we look as wonderful as I think we do for all of you. I mean, I can see that people are watching there over on YouTube and people are watching over there on Twitch. And we are giving you a different type of commentary, but if you would like to support us, then please hit that like button, hit that share button, and get some people come in here. I mean, whilst we are filling for time, tonight at 9 p.m. UK time, we will once again be going down the rabbit hole with Ed the Techie. So we will be doing JFK, will we not?
We are tackling JFK, and Ed has an extensive slide deck to inform you all.
68 slides.
Bring caffeine.
Bring caffeine.
and snacks.
I've just run out. Right, so I got a 3.2 kilogram bag of cola bottles for my birthday, John.
Oh, no. I hope it's not going to end up like the Haribo Amazon review.
No, they're gone, John. I've eaten them all.
Oh, my God.
They're gone.
Oh, my God. You're such a sugar addict.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you cannot deny it.
I'm not gonna try and defend that situation. Yes, I am. And sometime between now and down the rabbit hole, I still actually have to cook a roast dinner.
Another one?
No, I just didn't get to cook it the other day because then I was going to cook it yesterday, and then Spencer took me out to the table.
No, you were going to cook it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't get to. I had to cook. I had to cook something else because my son was being my son. And,
okay.
Once us autistic people get something.
Car approaching Balmoral.
Yes, there is a car. Is a car leaving Balmoral?
Well, that's what I meant. The car approaching the gates.
Yes.
It's turned off, has it? What's going on? What's going on?
I don't think anything's going on, to be honest, John.
Yeah, but I've got to be excited about slight movements.
Also, I'm going to go completely off kilter here and say, under encouragement from John, who's been constructively criticising my videos, my performance, and things like that when I'm talking to you people, I'm trying to make more eye contact directly into the camera, and I'm wondering if it makes a difference, if it's paying off.
And I haven't.
Does it make it more personable? I don't know. I'm not a presenter. This is not something I did. Remember, I'm only sitting here right now because I walked around those certain government sites with a camera, screaming at people. And then the people that started sort of cult following what I did, I don't know, I guess you could call it that, started telling me, you've got to get in a studio, you've got to do a show, you've got to talk to people. So I've been learning as I go, and I'm enjoying it. I love this show, and you know, it's nice to be able to talk to people and convey my thoughts and have people listen. And it's even better that this man above me has come along for the ride, because he is the yin to my yang. Absolutely, he is.
Uh-oh, something's coming out.
Is something. What
Do
is
we
she...
want to hear what she's saying?
Yeah, let's have a little listen. Are you sharing your sound with us?
Yeah, the shouting does.
Are here to see what's happening.
I mean, she's not on the back of a flatbed, is she?
Obviously from Buckingham Palace earlier this afternoon, which said following further evaluation this morning, the Queen's doctors are concerned for her health and have recommended she remain under medical supervision. It said the Queen remains comfortable and here at Balmoral. Now, as you've been saying, the Queen is here at Balmoral on her annual summer stay. This is a place she comes a lot, and she's been here since July.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything from her at the moment.
At least she's Scottish. At least BBC, at least BBC News have rolled out the Scottish one, right?
I thought that was nice, actually, to hear a Scottish voice. So, I mean, we have said that we in fact, we said in the last two shows that, well, I said that I didn't think she'd be ever be leaving Balmoral.
I mean, I said it as well. We both said we did not think. I said, I mean, I was a bit more crass. I said I think she'll just die in Scotland, right?
Yeah.
And you said, I don't think she would be leaving Balmoral. So usually it's you that says it crass, and me that tries to make things.
Yes, but I mean, I just said that there are real people involved here, and regardless of their entitled and overbearing and superficial attitudes to us, the plebs, I suppose they still have some modicum of affection for perhaps their mother or their grandmother or their great-grandmother.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this might sound cold, this might sound crass, but this is autism, right? And so it affords me the ability to speak my mind. I don't much care for this family. I don't much care for the...
I don't either.
I don't much care for the idea of monarchy. I don't much care for the idea of royalty. I don't much care for the idea that somebody should be allowed to rule over everybody else simply by way of being born. I think such an idea is outdated. I am personally a full-blown egalitarian. I think no one person is more important than the other, despite who they're born to. But the country will go mental over this, and you know what? I'll cover it, but I don't think ultimately, and once again it sounds crass, but I won't partake.
I know what you mean. I mean, the country goes mental over all these things, though, because there are still, I mean, regardless of how many people there are in the country, the population is aging, and it is the aging people that still hang on to these ideals and these trappings of royalty, and they still very much outnumber the up and coming youngsters. So most people, most of the elderly population will certainly be giving it loudly. And then there are always as they call them, the flag shaggers who just love the idea of royalty and the whole trappings around it.
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound mean when I say these things. I don't, right? I'm just telling you how I feel, my genuine thoughts and feelings towards this. But I will caveat it with what I said earlier. This is still a human being that is either passed away or is passing away, and a family that is grieving / maybe mourning. And, you've got to look at it from that point of view, and no matter what they may or may not have done, they're still going to be hurting. Indeed. So, well, let's hear what Hugh's got to say.
Okay, come on, Hugh, doctor's boy.
Ready. We can talk to our health editor, Hugh Pym, a little more about the health problems.
Is it loud enough?
Yeah.
Because this phrase, mobility issues, Hugh, has been used quite frequently in the past few months. And of course, people then tend to speculate or have their own ideas about what that might mean. What guidance can you give?
Belladonna, you're
that's right, Hugh,
absolutely
and
entitled to have that
interestingly,
opinion.
It wasn't
You're
mentioned in the
absolutely
statement,
entitled to have that opinion. Like I
just
said,
an
I
hour or
don't
so
care for
ago
them.
from Buckingham
I don't
Palace.
care for
It's
them. I'm just
mentioned
looking at it from a
concerns
human
of doctors
perspective
in
and, you know, the perspective of a family that's possibly losing a loved one. What's Mr. Spock saying, sorry?
Who's Mr. Spock?
On the TV.
Oh, dude. Well, I couldn't hear him because you were yakking.
I'll stop.
Make your mind up.
issues, which is the real cause for concern. And as we've been hearing, she was unable to take part, felt she was unable to take part in the virtual Privy Council meeting. She missed the Braemar gathering, the Highland Games near Balmoral, but she has been seen in public at times over the summer, including the opening of the Elizabeth line at Paddington and the Royal Windsor Horse Show a couple of months before. So mobility has been an issue, possibly reluctance to actually be involved in public events involving a lot of walking or a lot of standing still. But the tone of today's announcement does suggest concern, serious concern really, amongst her doctors. She's said to be comfortable at Balmoral. We don't know the full implications of that. That can mean different things in medical terms, but
comfortably dead.
Well, I'm going to say...
Dare I say. Anyway, yeah.
So
right,
that sounds to me like what they're actually announcing, if you read between the lines, is end-of-life care, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Being made comfortable, but still, I do think possibly she has already passed. I can't...
Yeah,
obviously,
I suspect so.
I don't know. Anyway, if you are watching on YouTube, which I can see a few of you are, hello, good afternoon, how are you? I would hope that you are giving this stream a like and subscribing to the channel and giving it a share. Laura Wright says people have a right to be sad when she dies, but she's responsible for the deaths at least of it. I can't repeat that on YouTube, unfortunately. But I can understand the point, and I can understand what you're saying. She says, love, PS, love to watch you guys on Rise on BNT. Thank you very much, Laura. And we will be on Rise on BNT when, John?
Tomorrow. I've just put it in the chat.
Tomorrow
morning. 7:30. Be there or be square.
Solararm says, brand YouTube has had a massive security breach to change your details. They made us all change our details. So we couldn't even log back into our accounts before we changed our details.
Yeah, I'm not... I'll be honest, I'm not terribly impressed with their the time it's taken them to get back up, and in fact, they're not really back up yet, are they?
Well, no, we're unable to go live. I wanted to put the show out last night. We're not able to at the moment. So you know, I am a little bit I'm a little bit concerned, but it does look like Mohammed is doing all that he can to make the site more secure. And so I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, purely because we know the size of their operation, we know where they're working from, and the fact that they have managed to do what they have done on the finances that they have, it's impressive to me. It's really impressive what they have managed to do.
Like a fag packet.
Yeah, it's good. What they have done is good. They just need to get it more secure, more watertight, and I hope that they have.
Yeah, but my son Hunter was what? Who posted that?
So someone's posted the full movie, My Son Hunter, on brand YouTube, the Lawrence Fox movie. I think I'll have to go over there and watch that.
Yeah, if it's still there, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, where were we?
But do you know what? Like I say, I'm half I'm impressed with what they're doing over at brand YouTube, and the fact that they are trying their best, and their operation is tiny, and so whether anybody else.
That's all very well, right? It's all very well to say their operation is tiny, but if you're going to play in this marketplace, right, you can't afford to let the things happen that happened.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
And so if you're going to start, and I mean, before this happened, Mohammed was talking about monetizing, right? Yeah. Now imagine if people had been monetized and this happened. No, that would be a complete and utter disaster.
Yes, but the monetization details, I imagine, would not have been held on their database. So
it doesn't matter. It would still be a disaster, because how many people use the same login?
Yeah.
And the same password, No, saying. I don't, but how many people do,
And I believe everybody that logs into brand YouTube now has to use two-factor authentication on every single login, that's good at least, right? So I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing so far, but what I need to see from them is a full working site where we can get live again, where we can start posting our content again. I'm not even sure if our content has reappeared on brand YouTube yet. In fact, I will go over there and have a look now whilst you talk to the people, John.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say to them.
You can say anything you like, just don't be rude.
I've got a sore head, actually. Are we staying live for long? I'm not sure. I think we'll stay live until 3.
Yeah, till just after 3, at least.
And see if anything breaks. If not, we'll probably go offline.
But so far, I've not even been able to load brand YouTube. I'll try again.
Yeah, see, this is the problem.
It doesn't look promising.
Yeah.
Natasha says they'll announce tomorrow morning, but still, in association, we absolutely love Sonia Poulton. We love her. We love her dearly.
Yeah.
And we will be once again, like I say, appearing on Rise with BNT tomorrow morning at 7:35 a.m. We'll be recording. Oh look, it is live. I'm on the site. So that's a good start. I'm now going to try and log in. I'm trying to log in.
This is scintillating coverage.
I am still trying to log in.
From Chasing Dissent. Well, having said that, it normally takes you about 5 minutes to get into anything on BNT.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's try this.
Oh,
I'm not a robot. I don't know. Oh, shite. Sorry, I've put the wrong screen on. Because I had to use numbers. They got the green screen.
All right.
Because my number keys are linked up to hotkeys, which change the cameras. I mean, changing the cameras right now would be completely pointless because it would not do us any good, right? So I'm now waiting for a two-factor authentication code from BNT, which is good. I like this, by the way. I do like this.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it's slightly annoying because every time you log in, you have to put it in and get a new 2FA code, which means anytime you want to log in and put stuff up there, John, you're going to be emailing me or messaging me going, "And I need the code."
Yeah, or maybe I'll just not bother and just let you do it.
Yeah, I think we're logged in.
Yeah, comfortable and resting as code for it, as they say in the chat. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the problem. People are too switched on these days for this kind of nonsense. You can't hide this because look, I mean, the world's press are already on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're on it, and we're nobody, right? You know, everybody that's got half a brain knows that she's now dead. So the longer you delay, the more and more stupid you look.
Yeah. Lauren Wright says, "I wonder if they kept her at Balmoral to reduce the amount of tourists / cameras. Feel like they are hiding her as best they can."
I firmly believe that was her choice because I think she wanted to die in Balmoral because she does have a great love for Scotland.
Yeah. You know what? I absolutely agree with you. I do think that was her choice. She wanted to die in Scotland. It's a little bit of a now she's got to go and lie pretty much in state over in Scotland, but. Well, I would say that the sign language lady here, she's definitely wearing all black, isn't she?
Yeah. Yes, she is. Do the sign people not tend to wear dark clothing anyway, though? So
I don't think it's that black.
Right, okay.
She is wearing.
Yeah, well, she's probably been told,
black.
"Hey, get that off. Get to wardrobe and get black kit on."
Yep.
Yeah, because the other guy's been pulled, wasn't he? Maybe he would get tired. I suppose it's quite tiring waving your arms about like that. Stop shouting.
I'll tell you what, they could, you know, all else fails, if she gets too tired, they can roll out our mate Black Gary.
Who's Camilla Tominey?
I don't know, let's hear what she says.
the privacy of a woman who is undoubtedly known to everybody in this country as our greatest public servant. And therefore, she is entitled to privacy concerning health matters. And it is probably right that we don't know some of the details at this stage of what exactly she is suffering from. But I think the signs are looking ominous, to have family rushing to Balmoral, some travelling quite great distances in short time, to have the unprecedented nature of the statement from Buckingham Palace talking about the concern of doctors for Her Majesty's health, and indeed to have the scenes that played out in the House of Commons earlier, where clearly Nadine Zahawi, the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, was instructed to interrupt that statement somewhat to inform Prime Minister Liz Truss and others of the state of play. I don't think the Palace would have taken that kind of measure if they didn't think that it was something that needed to be urgently flagged.
Yeah, I can pretty much imagine. I can pretty much imagine the conversation. It went like this: London Bridge is down.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were taken out. The key people were told. The Speaker was told. Obviously, Jacob Rees-Mogg, who is a member of the Queen's Privy Council, was told. The Prime Minister was briefed. The Leader of the Opposition was briefed. And Angela Rayner also.
Yeah, great. Angela Rayner. So some of our audience are distraught. Distraught that they've interrupted bargain hunt for this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
I can see that indeed. They have. What I want to know,
is that Orange? Does that Orange guy still do it?
Look, no, David Dickinson doesn't do it. Is there anybody at a TV right now? Because I'd like to know what's on BBC Two, because I don't actually have a TV in the studio.
I don't have a TV license. I shouldn't be watching anything.
I also do not have one of those. I don't even know what one of those is, John.
But it's hard to. Can you apply a TV license to a mobile device?
No, because it's streaming.
No, I meant well, no, you're supposed to have a TV license to watch BBC streams.
So normal programming is still running on BBC Two, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the question is, how do you buy a TV license when you have a mobile home?
Well, exactly. You don't actually have a home, do you, John?
Well, exactly. So I can't have a TV license, can I? It's same as I can't pay council tax, can I?
No.
Well, the council provide nothing for me anyway.
Well, exactly. The council provide nothing for
except grief.
Yeah, fix some fucking potholes. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that would help provide for John, considering he's in a mobile home.
You know what? It's not even the potholes. The problem is they don't build the roads right in the first place, because there is no reason for potholes to accumulate at the rate they do in Britain, other than the fact that they can't build roads properly. Because I have been across Europe, and
French
the roads
are...
I mean, even the rural roads are in much, much better condition. They don't develop potholes every winter, and it gets bloody cold in rural France.
Yeah.
You know?
It does.
So I'd like to understand how come the French, the cheese-eating surrender monkeys can build better roads than we can.
Your guess is as good as mine, John. I did see Lisa in the chat earlier on say Camilla is wearing black.
How did you see her?
So BBC Two is still money for nothing. So you'll know when the announcement is incoming when BBC Two is interrupted, right? And if you are watching this over on YouTube, which I see a few of you are, don't forget to give this stream a little bit of a like, maybe a subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course give it a share. Let people know that there are two idiots sitting here covering everything that needs to be covered with regards to the Queen. Basically, we're sitting here watching BBC News, giving better, more relevant commentary on life and what is going on than BBC News, because I guarantee you now, even if you go and look at Sky News, John, if you go and look at maybe even American news channels like CNN, it's going to be wall-to-wall coverage of these gates, right?
Probably.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And whilst we can bring you the wall-to-wall coverage of these gates, we're not going to sit here and talk about the Queen until something relevant is worthy of saying. And I mean, I do feel, like I said, for my old grandmother, who is a royalist. She is a royalist. Like I say, people can make their own mistakes. But she'll be absolutely devastated when this official announcement gets made. She's not very tech savvy, so she probably won't even know what's going on right now. But you know, it's going to be sad for that generation, especially, I would say.
Yeah.
And that generation are, you know, they're with her in nearly age. They're definitely with her in spirit, and they're definitely with her in nostalgic, like you said earlier on, a version of the country that never was. I need to check something here. Just give me a second, John.
Yeah, I've just had a look at CNN, and the first thing on the page is Royal Family rushes to Queen Elizabeth's side. Trending life of Queen Elizabeth II. And they are still, despite the fact that this is misinformation,
Yeah.
right? CNN are still reporting that 1/3 of Pakistan is underwater. Now, that is a blatant lie.
It's not. 1/3 of Pakistan is not underwater.
It's 8%.
Yes.
Which is far from 1/3. That is a blatant lie. It's blatant misinformation, and this is just another example of how bad mainstream media is.
Well, mainstream media are not here to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you the truth. They want to tell you.
Yeah.
They want basically sex and fear. That's what sells. Well,
hold on, I've just come across a cracker.
Okay.
Oh, you beauty!
Oh.
You absolute beauty!
You're leaving us in suspense here, John. You're leaving us hanging. What's going on?
Right. Okay. Hold on.
Are you going to share something with us?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just going to mention it. Right. So the Pentagon has halted delivery of F-35 fighter jets after discovering a component has been manufactured in China.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a cracker. This is from yesterday. The Pentagon says it's temporarily stopping deliveries of Lockheed Martin's F-35 aircraft after learning from the manufacturer an alloy made in China was in a component of the stealth fighter jet, violating federal defense acquisition rules.
So Natasha's reporting that the BBC header has apparently changed to black. I mean, I'm on the BBC website and I'm seeing it as blue currently.
No, the BBC header hasn't changed here. Nope.
No, the only thing at the top that is black.
Hence, that, to use a phrase.
No, nothing's changed.
No, nothing's changed. But yeah, like I'm looking at the main BBC website and here it is blue. So
the government websites are still showing as normal.
Yeah.
There's no change there.
Sawarm says it's black for him. Could you?
I've just refreshed it. You saw me do it live on TV, on screen.
I mean, the BBC themselves are.
Oh,
they're black.
But they're not always black.
So Natasha says just posted on Twitter, hence the apparently. So Jessie says she's just checked, it's black.
Yeah, but is it not? Oh, let me hold on.
I'm confused. I am. My apologies.
Well, I've just done on the BBC.co.uk, and it's white.
Yeah. So could somebody?
It's white.
Could somebody give us an image or post something? I don't know, and show us.
Hold on a minute. Let me just switch over. Sorry, wrong one. This is what I'm seeing on the BBC website.
Okay.
It's white. Can you see that?
Hold on. I'm going to the right screen. Yeah, that's what I'm getting as well.
Yeah. What's black? That's all there is.
So apparently hashtag RIP Queen Elizabeth is trending, perhaps? I mean, this is really outshining Disney Plus Day, isn't it?
Hey, what's Disney Plus done?
Disney Plus Day. This is obviously the day that Disney Plus was first released. So this is Disney Plus Day, where they do a load of extra things and a load of deals, and it's supposed to trend on Twitter, and it is trending top for me. Hashtag Disney Plus Day, obviously because they're paying for it to trend.
There's a car going into Balmoral.
Oh, well, you've stopped sharing your screen now.
Yeah, I know. I'll share it again. It's just a regular car. Oh, it's stopped. It's obviously been interrogated. Hold on, I'll see if I can get it up in time.
Yeah, get it up in time. Is he in? He's in.
Yeah, you can see him. The gates are shutting and he's driving around the corner.
So apparently both William and Harry have arrived to Balmoral as we speak. Belladonna Hawkmoon says, your busiest stream ever. Lol.
Really?
I mean, we're definitely being kept on our toes, right?
Our busiest stream ever. I'm gonna have to take a bathroom break.
Oh my god!
Another car! Another car's arrived.
You just leave that there. You just leave.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. There's another car arrived.
You go and have a look for the cars. You go and do that.
Cops let that one through as well.
I'm not seeing R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth yet. I'm seeing BBC One is trending. BBC One is trending. Natasha says, "Defo snuffed it." Belladonna asks, "Is Meghan there?" Well, if
Harry is, yeah.
Yeah, if Henry's there, then Meghan's probably there. Imagine that if she is still with us. Meghan being one of the last people she sees. That poor woman. Right, you got to feel for her there. The amount of pain, looking at it once again from a human perspective, the amount of pain Meghan has caused that family, I doubt she would want her there. I'm just saying. Keir Starmer is trending. Windsor, obviously trending. Be Real. Nicholas Witchell, the Queen, is trending. So, I mean, it's been a day, isn't it? Liz Truss announcing the energy bills and whatever she's going to do to them. Apparently, we're going to cap them at £2,500 for the next 2 years. And then we've had Disney Plus Day, which the new live-action Pinocchio, which looks awful, has released on Disney Plus today. Then we've got this. It's a busy day. Belladonna asks, you sure they are human? Well, that's a question, isn't it? That's a question that I leave you to draw your own answers from. Anyway, whilst I'm waiting for John to return, once again, if you are watching on YouTube or on Twitch, then please make sure you give the stream a like, a share. And if you are not already, then why not? Please subscribe to the channel. We do videos hopefully every day as much as we can. And we do a live stream every Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday at 9 PM UK time. We have been changing up our time. But that's when we'll be doing our live streams. We do 2 episodes of Chasing Dissent live, Wednesday and Sunday. And then we do a different show on the Thursdays. We're kind of changing it up at the moment, but tonight is Chasing Dissent Down the Rabbit Hole with Ed the Techie, and we are looking into the mystery of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Ed has prepared a 68-page dossier on what he thinks may have happened. So that's going to be very interesting. I'll be there, but I'm going to sit it out really. I'm going to let John and Ed do all of the discussing, and I'm just going to take it all in like the rest of you would. I might pipe in every now and again, but just the same as you might if you are in the chat. And if you are in the chat, I'll be able to relay stuff over to them. It was Oswald, didn't you hear? Says Belladonna. Well, was it Lee Harvey Oswald? I've been there. I've stood on the X in Dealey Plaza where the fatal shot occurred. I've also been to what they call the 6th floor museum, but we weren't allowed to go all the way up to the 6th floor. But I've been there. I've got a photograph of me as a small child standing on the X. Exciting. Is it exciting? Standing on a spot where somebody was shot in the head. But yeah, I've been there. Natasha says, I'm on nights tonight. 68 pages is dedication for you. Well, he's been preparing this for a month, so I think he's got his crap in order. And also, if you are all feeling so inclined, and if you would like to, you could always go over to the Patreon and support us over there at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. That is patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. Or Subscribestar at subscribestar.com/Chasing Dissent. And one of the perks that you get at any tier is what we call the after party. We did it last night. There were a few people in last night. It was quite fun, actually. It went on for a lot longer than usual. But if you are subscribed during the credits of the Wednesday and Sunday shows, a Patreon and Subscribestar exclusive post goes out on the platforms. Only the people signed up can get it with a link. And you click that link and you come into the show via video call. You come and join us. We shoot the shit. We have a laugh. It's good fun. It really is good fun. Dark Spy says last night's party was wild. It was good. I enjoyed it. And you know what? couple of patrons came into last night's after party who had missed the show, but still they clicked the link and jumped in the after party, and we had a laugh, and it was really good. And obviously Dark Spy there being a participant of the after party, and obviously thank you, Spencer, my friend, for coming along. I actually went out with Spencer in the evening before the show. He took me for dinner. Absolutely wonderful. It really, really was. You can take me for dinner again tonight if you want, Spencer. No, not tonight. John is taking some time. We have a black van now at the gates of Balmoral. That is a black van at the gates of Balmoral. I'm going to check the BBC website once again. We are nearing the top of the hour. We're at 2 minutes to 3. And we shall see what we shall see. I am finding it. Well, while we're waiting, is it what's grinding your gears? That's a very interesting question there, isn't it? What's getting you lot down? The Grim Reaper has arrived, says Belladonna Hawkmoon. Tisley says black van means death. Oof. Well, I think this is why we're all here, right? This is why we're all here right now, because it was either us talking about what's going on and giving you a hopefully entertaining bit of a show, or you can go and watch the BBC News, who is going to be wall to wall. Oh my God, it's so sad. It's so sad. Oh, we're still holding the information back from you because we think you're all stupid. I mean, that is how the mainstream media see you. They see me. They see all of us. They see us as mindless drones who will do as they say. And are we that? I don't think so. I think if you've come here, you either come here to mock us, and we're very open to that. We enjoy a bit of roasting. Or you've come here because you understand that the mainstream media, for the most part, they don't treat you like human beings. I was going to say they don't treat you like adults, but they don't even treat you like human beings. They treat you like mindless drones who will believe anything they say, purely because it comes from them. And, you know, I begrudgingly sometimes put a little more faith in humanity than that. There are a few people, there is a small portion who are skeptical, who ask questions, who, when something doesn't seem right on the surface, will question it. Unfortunately, that is a minority of people. Most people just want to get along for an easy life, and so when the mainstream media tell them something, or their government tell them they have to do something, they'll do it. They'll just go along with it. And these are the people I like to call useful idiots, because they drag us down with the ship with them. We don't want to be dragged down with that ship, but we are. John.
Ben.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, mate.
You take over for a minute. I have been on many rambles.
What you been ranting about?
Everything, John. Everything.
Yeah, okay. Well, while we're waiting for any news from Balmoral, let's have a look at the news, shall we?
Go on then. Let's have a look at the news.
So let me call it. I'll have a look at news.
Shall I give you the BBC intro? Boom, 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 boom.
No.
Boop.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Boom. And the headlines at 3 p.m. from John Porter. Boom.
Yes, here we go. So let's see what's hitting my briefing. The top stories hitting us today: energy bills to be capped at £2,500. That's not enough. That's not enough, Liz. That's not going to cut it. You're going to put thousands, if not millions, of people into fuel poverty. Oh, hold on.
Breaking news.
Today about the Queen's health, the concerns expressed by the doctors who are working with and for the Queen at Balmoral, the Queen's estate in Aberdeenshire, where we're told the Queen is comfortable, that she's being cared for, of course, by the best medical experts that you can.
He's losing his focus.
Yeah,
Listen.
He's getting something in his ear, isn't he?
Listen.
The family gathering there too, and as Nicholas Witchell, our royal correspondent, was saying earlier, people will draw their own conclusions from the fact that Prince of Wales and the Princess Royal, Duke of York, the Earl of Wessex, the Duke of Cambridge, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we think as well, have either arrived or are about to arrive at Balmoral. So that is the scene at the entrance to the estate. The Queen is being kept as comfortable as possible. There's been no bulletin apart from the one that we are currently reporting some 2.5 hours ago, which was to say that doctors now had...
Yeah, I thought he was getting something in the lug there.
It sounded like it. And I would just like to thank. I was going to say I would just like to thank the couple of people that have clearly subscribed during the course of this. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. We do appreciate. We're really trying to push on now. To build what we do here, and we hope people enjoy what we do here, especially with the the funnier shows in the evening. But it's nice to see that we are pushing on. We are at 331 subscribers, which does not sound like a lot, but to us, every single one of you, we appreciate every single one of you. Luke Honeyfunder says King Charles III and his Prime Minister Liz Truss are well and truly in the shite.
So Liz Truss freezes energy bills at $2,500 a year on average, and that's going to be funded by borrowing, no windfall tax.
Yes, it's going to be funded by...
I think the windfall tax was a red herring anyway. I don't think that would help.
No.
I'm making a video at the moment telling you exactly why taxation or capping isn't going to work, because of the way the whole energy market in the UK is run. It's just a complete and utter disaster.
I just want to kind of touch on something that Rami's just said. She said, the Great Reset is a step closer. Didn't Charles himself, King Charles as we will now call him, launch the Great Reset? I believe he did, didn't he?
I think he certainly had. He's had a lot of conversations with the WEF, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I believe he was there launching the Great Reset. And that is concerning, because no matter what you think of the WEF, let's boil it down to what the vast majority of people think they are, right? They'll think that the WEF is a rich man's club, a rich boys club that lobbies governments to get its own way, right? It's pretty much what it is, except for it has a bit more power than that. Regardless, no lobbying should be allowed to exist. No lobbying of any kind. These groups...
Oh, Carl leaving. I think you're right. I agree with you.
No lobbying should be allowed to exist. And our Prime Minister especially should not be, and our now King, should not be affiliated with these lobbying groups who fundamentally want to change the world, who did release a video saying by the year 2030 you will own nothing and you will be happy.
I would actually go further. I would say that companies and individuals should be banned from contributing to politicians' campaigns.
I 100% agree with you. And I don't think that officials should be allowed to be listed on their websites as members of that group. I
Definitely
really
not.
don't.
Definitely not. And they should be disbarred from holding office in corporations, i.e. directorships and advisors and whatever, because ultimately there's going to be a conflict of interest. And I think we all know there have been massive conflicts of interest in the past.
Yes, they have.
Right. So the couple of things in the news I'd like to pick up on, because it's quite a way off from the next show, and so the ban on fracking has been announced today.
Has been lifted.
Has been lifted. Yeah. So we can now frack again. There's various different recommendations as to how long it would take before it's going to make any difference, but the figure bandied about is it'll be 10 years before it makes any difference. So more virtue signaling from Liz. Oh, more cars leaving or coming to leave.
Yeah.
The Glasgow Christmas markets will not return to St Enoch's or George Square this year. Why?
Oh, wow. I mean, they are some very impressive Christmas markets as well.
Yeah. Why?
So
Why would they not do that?
Are they
Hold
not
on.
returning, or are they simply
Oh.
moving to a new location?
Well, let me just read this.
Okay.
Let me just read this. So, they made the announcement on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Audi, and what's that? A Porsche?
That's a Porsche.
Yeah.
A Porsche Cheyenne, I think.
Cayenne. Right. They will not be organising this year.
Why?
Oh.
Punishment for people enjoying normal life?
Well, it was cancelled in 2020 and they haven't returned since.
Yeah, it's been cancelled because of the old Koofy Coof, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is going on? He's wiping the camera. He's wiping the camera. Did you see? It's got the brush all over the camera lens.
Yeah, he's taking the rain off it.
And Lisa's making a good point before you move on. We have a new translator, and now look what he's wearing.
Oh, but he's changed to black as well. Yeah, they know. They all know. He's even got a black tie on. He's all black. So yeah, they all know. It's definitely no. They definitely know. So there we go. That's poor. There's no real explanation as to why, but they've basically said we're not coming back. And if you want to know about any other events, contact the council.
No freedom or fun for you, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you're in Glasgow. Why?
None at all.
Luke Honeyfunder says they're going to cancel the football this weekend, aren't they?
Yeah, everything will be cancelled. It's going to be a really boring weekend. I hope the Chinese are still open.
Dark Spice. Dark Spice says even the new presenter on ABC Australia is wearing black at the moment.
Oh, Jesus. There you go.
Tisley says they could be dressing for an emo concert. Very, very possibly.
No, it's right. So the big topics: the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth family rush to decide the availing monarch. PM will explore energy market reform to cut bills. Yeah, sure she will. Well, actually, if she does, that's good because that means that she is thinking correctly if she's exploring the energy market reform. Teen jailed for stabbing a 16-year-old boy to death. Apple iPhone 14. Who cares? PlayStation boss calls Microsoft's post-acquisition Call of Duty offer inadequate on many levels. So it appears that Microsoft has bought Call of Duty.
Well,
so because that was a PlayStation game, wasn't it?
Well, it's come out on all of them. It comes out cross-platform. On Sky News, a helicopter is arriving at Balmoral.
So who's that?
I am unsure. What's going on? Unmute that. Unmute it.
Unmuting.
There above Balmoral Castle in Aberdeenshire, showing that the Queen is
still alive,
residence and very much the emblem of
why is it not a Union Jack?
Authority and power, and that
Union
is
flag?
Really the symbol that's been very familiar to those people in that part of Scotland for summers going back to the 1950s and before then, because it's a favourite location of the royal family, and it's been a lifelong.
So it's now raining on you over in Scotland.
Been to spend time in Balmoral and to enjoy the landscapes around there.
Imagine that her last official duty was appointing Liz Truss as Prime Minister.
Yeah, he's just talking rubbish at the moment. It's just filler. So the world's top headlines: Saskatchewan stabbings. Second suspect dead after days on the run following the mass attack killing 10.
Ah, for God's sake. They never face the music, do they?
Now, Putin threatens to freeze Europe. Well, the MK Ultra, aren't they? They're designed to self-destruct. Anyway, Putin threatens to freeze Europe with total energy cut-off. Yep, he sure does.
I mean, he won't be freezing us because we don't rely on Russian gas.
Well, yeah, we covered that last night.
Yeah, and as long as we
probably won't. He won't be freezing. He won't be freezing France either because they're well placed. They've got all their nuclear power coming back on before the end of the year.
Absolutely.
And most of rural France just burns firewood.
Once again, one more time, I'm sorry if this is boring you all, but if you are watching especially over on YouTube, then please click the like button, the subscribe button if you feel we are worthy of your subscription. and give it a share. We would really, really appreciate it. We do appreciate every single one of you for coming to join us this afternoon. Over there in Scotland, where John currently is, it's raining cats and dogs, as they would say.
Oh, Cineworld has filed for Chapter 11.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I've got a bloody Cineworld Unlimited card, John. I pay them money every month. Don't do it.
It'll take ages for it to work its way out, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a bloody good deal. I pay £15.99 a month. I can go to the cinema as many times as I want.
Oh, here's one. HBO will fix House of the Dragon visual effects glitch spotted by fans. Shall I dig into that?
You can dig into it. You can indeed.
Right, the errors will be corrected. This is like a statement from, her, whatever. Right, the errors will be corrected and a revised version will hit streaming platforms. The third episode had a visual effects glitch after the mistake was brought to light. They've spotted the VXX blunder during a scene featuring King Viserys, as played by Paddy Considine, in which he hands a rolled up letter over to a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, there's green screen. You can see his two green fingers.
That's right, because they're meant to have green screened out his fingers, aren't they?
They haven't green screened his fingers out. Two of the king's fingers are completely green, as they were likely wrapped in a piece of green fabric to be edited in post-production.
Absolutely, because if you care to go and watch our House of the Dragon review, we haven't put it out yet, have we?
No, we haven't. It's not been edited yet.
Well, if you care
because I've been busy.
If you could care to go over to our other channel, which is Liberté Media, Liberte Media, you can find reviews of mundane everyday things like movies, TV shows, theme parks, things that people want to hear about as well. We do that as well, and we do a weekly show over there called Dismal Disney, where we basically we take apart the failings of the Walt Disney Company and we try and push them to improve and do better for the people that pour so much money into their brand. Because right now
we try.
They're not doing good right now. They are. I mean, it's Disney Plus Day, and have you seen the offerings? They're poor, very, very poor.
No, I haven't seen the offerings.
I mean, they're so desperate for people to come over to Disney Plus right now that they're going, "We'll give it to you for $1.99 this month. Come on, we'll give it to you $1.99."
$1.99 for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Hold on, I've just had a message about Disneyland Paris.
Oh, don't tell me they're shutting. Oh, car leaving. What's this? What kind of car is this?
So
is this a Range Rover?
This is a Range Rover.
Yeah, because they won't travel in anything less than a Range Rover. It's quite ironic though when you consider that a Range Rover is now owned by Tata, an Indian company.
Tata Steel.
Yeah.
Tata Steel are now in the car market.
Oh, they've been in it for years.
Yeah.
They've owned Range Rover for years.
Well, see, I don't know.
Land Rover.
Unfortunately, yeah. John,
I think Tata owned Jaguar as well.
Oh wow. I don't know everything, but between us we do. So it balances. We balance each other out, don't we?
Let's hear what this young lady's got to say.
Let's hear what this young lady's got to say.
Members of the royal family either already at Balmoral or travelling there. If you put all of that together, I think there is real concern and anxiety about how the Queen is.
Helena, thank you very much. That's the view at Windsor. We're going to jump over to Downing Street if we can, because I think our political editor Chris Mason has arrived in Downing Street. Chris, we saw the message of concern earlier from the new Prime Minister Liz Truss, who of course did see the Queen a couple of days ago. What's Downing Street telling you?
Did she really?
A profound sense of concern, Hugh, here in Downing Street and more widely in Parliament. I was watching proceedings in Parliament just a couple of hours ago as that debate was underway, talking about energy prices, and it was clear prior to the public statement from Buckingham Palace that something serious, something profound was happening, because notes were passed along the front benches to the Prime Minister and indeed to the Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Angela Rayner, as Sir Keir Starmer was on his feet at the time, and indeed to the Speaker of the House of Commons, Sir Lindsay Hoyle. And it was shortly after that that the public statement was made by Buckingham Palace, and then the words of concern from our political leaders. I'll just remind you of what Liz Truss, the Prime Minister, said just a couple of hours ago. The whole country will be deeply concerned by the news from Buckingham Palace this lunchtime. My thoughts and those of all people across our United Kingdom are with Her Majesty the Queen and her family at this time. And as we've been reflecting, the new Prime Minister saw Her Majesty just a couple of days ago at Balmoral for that day that lies at the heart of the British Constitution, that knitting together of monarchy and parliament and government with the transference of power, one of the many roles that lie at the kind of sanctity of the monarch, dealing with governments that come and go, and sharing those private moments that prime ministers of the past have reflected on as being so important to their time in government. That chance to tap into the wisdom
it is trite.
Someone who's been on the world stage for so many decades, who has met and spoken to publicly and privately so many international statesmen and women over the decades, that they could use her as a sounding board in those weekly audiences, knowing, unlike pretty much any other political conversation they might have, that it wouldn't leak, that it really was private, and tapping into that wisdom that wouldn't be matched, I guess, by any other figure in the world.
Fledger says 6 p.m.
6, you reckon?
Well, what we can do is we could wrap this up in a minute.
Yeah.
And then we could come back. If we think something's moving, we can always run back out.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I hope that you've rather enjoyed it with us rather than having to go and watch the actual BBC News tripe or the Sky News tripe. And John, stop the screen. There we go. BBC has suspended normal programmes until 6 p.m. apparently. That would be for BBC One, I imagine. So yeah. As it stands,
if they're suspended normal programmes until 6 p.m, does that not mean that the announcement would be before 6 p.m?
Well, the thing is, if the announcement occurs, normal programming will not return.
Yeah, that's true. So,
but Obin One says he reckons it will be 6 minutes 6 seconds past 6 p.m. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. You never know. You never know. So okay. I will turn off studio mode and start queuing up an outro. And I just want to... Yeah, carry on.
No, I was just going to thank everyone for attending this impromptu live stream on the severe situation involving Her Majesty the Queen.
If any situations develop, we will of course be back. But right now, as it stands, the state of play is she's probably already gone, but they are not. They're keeping stum at the moment. If not, then this is, in my opinion, end of life care. One more thing I want to say before we go. If you're watching on YouTube, especially if we haven't earned your subscription today, I'm deeply saddened by that. But if you'd like to click that big red subscribe button and maybe that notification bell, we would really, really appreciate it. And if you feel so inclined, at 9 p.m. tonight, UK time, you can come back and join us for Down the Rabbit Hole, episode 4, with special guest Ed the Techie, in which we will be talking about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. It's in fact scheduled over on the YouTube channel right now. You can go over to it and you can click Notify Me, and it will notify you as to when the show begins, and we'd really appreciate people coming along and supporting that. John, close the show.
So I'd like to thank everyone for attending the impromptu episode of Chasing Dissent Live, on the occasion of the notification that the Queen is under medical supervision, and as we suspect, she may be either near death or has indeed died. And the royal family have attended Balmoral, and we await to see official announcements as to the status of the Queen and what is then going to happen next.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Belladonna there says, I'm off to bed now as I work night.
Oh,
enjoy
good night.
Work. Good night, everybody. Thank
Sleep
you.
well.
We will see you later anyway. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
got time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience to talk to. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work to.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.